Hello YouTube. This white machine here has been part of my setup for about a month now, and it really replaced the iMac G4 on my desk. And, you know, I guess you're dying to know what it is. Well, it is an iMac G5. Well, you could have told by the title of the video, of course, but, you know, I just like to point things out in video as well. So, this is an iMac G5 with a 17-inch display, with a 1440 by 900 resolution. It's actually a pretty good display overall. It's in pretty decent condition even, in this case. It's a pretty thick machine. By the thickness you can definitely tell this is the first generation of the iMac G5. It's in perfectly working condition. These had some issues with their capacitors, just, you know, they were made around the era of the capacitor plague, and these machines were absolutely plagued by it in a very bad way. But this one does not have that issue. We will open it up later in the video and I'll show you that particular thing. And of course we have a slot loading optical drive. The iMac G5 in that regard was really the main departure from Apple's classic design. I mean, back in the days of the iMac G3, you know, you could definitely cram a computer because you had so much room to work with the CRT in place. But, you know, you couldn't really do that behind a flat panel yet at the time because the optical drive wouldn't work on its side. They fixed that with the G5, and that's why they finally managed to cram everything behind the display. And, you know, that does give you a little bit of a thick machine, as you can definitely tell. I mean, this is by no means thin, but, you know, you could really just fit everything behind there, and it's just really, really clean looking. Now, let's actually pull it a bit forward here, so you can get a better look at it. In terms of I/O here on the back, we have a line out, or no, that's a line in. This is the line out headphone jack. We have a mini VGA, 3 USB 2.0 ports, 2 FireWire 400 ports, 56K modem, fast Ethernet, so that's 100 megabit, and the power button. And of course here on the top, there we go. Let me adjust it a little bit. You of course can see the venting area that is very, very necessary on a G5 Mac. This is no exception to the rule that G5s are terribly hot running machines. This is definitely a volcano. You might wonder, why did I pick a G5 instead of just an Intel 06 iMac? Well, that's actually a very good question. The main reason is that I wanted to have all 3 generations of the PowerPC iMacs. If I wanted Intel iMacs, I could just talk to my girlfriend because she has 2 of them. She has a mid-2011, I think, and a late 2007, or mid-2007, one or the other. Anyway, in the 2007 and the 2011 models. So I didn't really feel like grabbing the Intel one. I might still do that, like the late 06, and slap Mountain Lion on there and have a bit fun of that. But I don't really think I want to spend money on that. I just, you know. But this one was a very good deal. I got this machine with the original keyboard and mouse. Let me just get them here in the background. Now that I can use this lavalier microphone, I really don't have to worry about sound quality as much, or the direction. But here is the original keyboard. It's in very good condition. It's still very white, works very well. The original mouse, you know, it's the ugly Mighty Mouse, or whatever they call it. Maybe they call this the Magic Mouse. I don't know. All that marketing mumbo jumbo, I don't even give a shit. But yeah, that all came with the machine. And it also came with a copy of Leopard and a 1 terabyte hard drive. Of course I took that hard drive out. I only had about 1700 hours on it. And I replaced it with a 160 gigabyte drive. Originally this machine shipped with a 80 gig drive, 1.8 gigahertz G5 CPU and 512 megs of RAM. Bumped it up to 2 gigs of RAM. Of course CPU you can't upgrade that. Graphics are done by the FX 5200 Ultra with 64 megabytes of VRAM. It's pretty much you know, the same card that you get in the PowerMac G5 in the base configuration. Well, without further ado, let's actually open up the machine to show you how easy it is to perform any maintenance on this first generation G5 iMac. There we go. Put the iMac down. You have to lift up the foot in order to reach a screw that is down there. Let's see if we can get that on camera. At least I think there's another screw there, but there's a bunch of screws down here. One is here in the corner, one is in the other corner. The iMac G5 also came into other variations, the ambient light sensor model, as well as the eyesight camera model. Both had their share of problems. The GPUs they used in both models were quite unreliable. If I'm not mistaken, they used the Radeon X600 graphics, and they're not too good. They actually ran pretty hot, and the North bridge in the machine entirely ran way too hot. Right, I forgot the third one. I'm just talking here and not really paying attention. But yeah. They had their North bridge under the screen where the Apple logo is. And it would really generate a lot of heat that would cause the display to completely die after an amount of time. But as you can see, I could just lift this thing off. And now you've got access to every single component in the G5 iMac. So, let's take a little tour here, shall we? I added this airport card. This is a regular Airport Extreme G card. Here is the power supply area. Here is the optical drive, which is a super drive with DVD burning capabilities. Here is the CPU fan area and the hard drive fan there. This shroud was missing when I got the machine. Ordered this on eBay for about $5 and it's working fine. The machine is a bit louder, but it's definitely a lot cooler as well. Now, here on the right hand side of the machine, we find the G5 CPU, the RAM modules. This original model uses DDR400 memory, 1 GB maximum per stick. Here's the hard drive. It's a 160 GB Seagate drive. Nothing special, but it works. But yeah, the caps in this machine are absolutely spot on. There's not even a single one that's even bulging or anything. It's technically it's in perfect condition, and that's really rare for this first generation iMac. I'm guessing this thing had a recap done at an Apple store at some point in his life. I got this thing from the original owner, so I guess he really took good care of it. But yeah, I think it is time now to show you how it works, and that it works even, because that's always a very interesting part of the video, don't you think? So, without further ado, through the magic of video editing, let's jump to the startup. Okay, time for a test. Let's take a seat. Listen to that bong. There we go, it's booting up. I'll just close the curtain here for a bit. Apologize for the noises coming from my chair. It's very, very creaky indeed. You can tell there's a little bit of a damage to the screen here. Probably some pressure there from the previous owner or something. But yeah, as you can see, a very, very clean installation of OS X Tiger. I've been running Leopard on this machine for a while. Seems to run okay. I just wanted to test Tiger for a bit to see if performance was significantly better or not. Doesn't seem to be better than Leopard in any way. At least not that I can perceive, so. But yeah, let me zoom in a little bit, so you can see a little bit from what's going on the display there. There we go. As you can see, we're running an iMac G5, PowerMac 8.1, 1.8 GHz, 512K cache, 2 gigs of RAM, serial number, whatever. That's useful to anyone. And of course, this machine uses SATA. So there's this Seagate 160 gig drive. It's pretty zippy. It's about as fast as a 1 TB drive that was in there, if not faster. It's not really amazing in any way. Yeah, the Apple website. Whoop-de-doo. Let me get that angle a little bit better there. There we go. I guess it was still zoomed in for a previous video a little bit. There we go. So, let's just quit that. There's not much on here. Got some Microsoft Office software on there, just for the heck. Other than that, it's actually pretty bare and install overall. Even got Opera on there. VLC for watching video. We'll take a look at that in a bit. After we wait for the infamous long loading times of Office 2008 for Mac. This is why I use 2011 on Macs that can run Snow Leopard. Alright, let's kill that. But yeah, VLC runs fine on here. Let's just connect to my server here, or well, to my NAS, I should say. If it's online at all. Actually, I haven't checked. It should be online. Let's disable airport. Let's go in using SMB instead. There we go. Let's take a look at some stuff. Futurome is as good as anything. 720p, pretty much uncompressed, lossless audio and all. Okay, there's definitely something going on there. I think I have the CPUs on low performance mode. That's a bit embarrassing. Let's see here. These are standard definition.
Good news, everyone. Tomorrow you'll be making a delivery to Ebola 9, the virus planet. Why can't they go today? Because tonight's a special night, and I want to...
That one's just fine. But yeah, so this machine is pretty much suited best for, you know, watching videos, some light web browsing, maybe some word processing. Nothing too serious anymore because it's pretty old. It's mostly part of my collection. I'm going to do a special video on all 3 generations of iMac fairly soon. But just wanted to share this acquisition with all of you first. So that's pretty much all that I can show about the iMac G5 from the year 2004. It's over 12 years old now, but it still runs like a champ. I hope you enjoyed this video. I thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.